Hello and welcome to Pest Perspectives episode 56. Pest Perspectives is aim is to educate and entertain the pest management world. In the UK, you can get a CPD, and if you live anywhere else in the world, if it qualifies for CPD, put it down. But I don't think it does. But we've got listeners all over the world: UK, America, Australia, New Zealand, and a lot of countries we have. So it's good. It's picked up a bit. It's a fun podcast to do. It is. I do enjoy it. Over a year now, I've been doing it, and as you can see, if you're looking on camera, I have the Pest Perspectives hoodie now. It may change over period, but that's obviously me in my gym gear there with like a Superman kind of theme. And I'll be wearing this at BPCA's Pestex in London. So if you see me, my hoodie's got that on the back too. So say hello. I will be there. It'll be this one or my red one. I've got two. But this week I've got Ryan from Ryan Pest Consulting. How are you doing?
I'm well, Shaun. How are you?
Good to hear. I'm okay, thanks. You had a good day?
I have. Been busy doing the thing, trying to keep all the wheels running.
Definitely. What time of day is it where you are?
Today is a nice day. It's sunny. We've had some rain recently, but I think that's kind of let up, and so it's a nice day. A little chilly, but sun's out, so that's good.
Good to hear. What time of day are you on?
We are at 12:30.
Wow, it really is early, isn't it? It's 8:30 at night.
Yeah, it's just around lunchtime here.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So, what got you into the pest management industry initially when you first got into the industry?
Yeah. Well, first off, I wanted to say thanks for having me on. Thanks for inviting me on here. I don't do a lot of podcasts, so bear with me, but I really appreciate the invite.
It's nice to get it. Now I've got you on and not messed it up. I messed it up before, didn't I?
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, what got me on the pest control, I'm finding out is not too uncommon from a lot of people. It kind of found me. I needed the work. I was a young father, and I bugged my neighbor was a pest control guy. And he had, he was going out doing work and stuff himself, and he had one other tech, and I bugged him because I needed work. I'm like, man, just whatever. I'll ride along with you. I'll bring the ladder in. I'll help you carry the tools, whatever, right? And he's like, no, we're not hired. And I kept after it long enough that he finally said, okay, fine, you can ride with me. And that's where that started. And got interested in, I was doing some bird exclusion and, setting traps and kind of just doing whatever. And went for my applicator's license and got that. And then I did some sales for them and things like that, and then kind of built up a route and started there. Yeah.
Has that always been a thing in America when you first started these licenses? Has it always been a thing in America, licensing?
As far as I know, I'm not an expert on licensing, but as in the 25 years or more that I've been doing this, you've always had to have a license. Yeah.
Okay, I just thought I'd ask. It's different over here, as you know. It's they're like certificates. They are
right.
They never really run out, but if you're using rodenticide and you don't want to redo your certificates and you're part of a trade body, you have to do 20 hours of continuous professional development.
Right.
And 3 CRU points. It's basically there are 3 points that are dedicated to rodent using bait safely. It is.
Got it.
But
Yeah, we have to have the CEUs to keep our licensing.
Yeah.
So we got to go and get the licensing, and then you got to do the regular study material to keep it active.
Good to hear. It's I presume that's the same old stuff you have to do year on year. Does it ever change or not?
What's that? The licensing?
No, the content, as in the learning you do for your.
Oh yeah, sorry, you cut out. Yeah, the content. I think it changes a little bit, but there's a good amount of the same concept, same content. Technical, and you got your rules and regs and your IPM and stuff like that. So, it's good. It's a good refresher. It's good to keep up to date, and I think they switch them around enough to where you're not doing the same studies over and over.
That's nice. That's good to hear. It's just good to hear how it's done in America, because guys, here we had it so. It used to be like, I'm in the NPT, National Pest Technicians Association, and you have like basis prompt. Well, it's very kind of structured as such, but I've joined a different one called the British Pest Register, and a lot of it is self-registering. So, and there's another scheme, the BPCA's got one too, where you can self-register, where you can do any kind of learning you can put in. So you can literally say, I don't know, say someone rings me, or say someone comes over to see me, a pest controller, and we talk pest control for an hour. There you go.
Wow.
That's 1 point. There you go.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So I remember when I had the Bug Books guy. Who did I have on? The guy from Bug Books. I can't think of the name of my Alan Draper. That's it.
Oh, okay.
He was mind blown that the podcast could be a points, and he was saying, "We need to change stuff. We need to be more like you." He was mind blown that a podcast could be points.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
was.
I'll be getting no points for this podcast here. They won't give me.
Well, people will be on it. Welcome, Jasmine. Thanks for popping in. Cheers for your support. That's our new chair of the MPTA. Cheers.
All right. Hi, Jasmine.
Yeah, she's doing good things. But yeah, it's good to hear. Good to hear how you got started. So what you do nowadays is you kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, in your consultancy firm, you specialize in the commercial pest control kind of end of things. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm solely focused on commercial. So, resorts and food processing, universities, LEED certified, which is like, the green initiative here for building, how they build buildings, and, I'll follow the, rules of IPM, and yeah, it's fun.
Good to hear. Jasmine's got a question. She says, does the content you need to learn on your points, does it vary state to state in America, or is it all pretty much broad? Or do you know?
The content for licensing?
Yeah, the CPD points you have to do each year to keep your.
Yeah, so you're required to get a certain amount of hours in each category. So your technical, your rules and regs, and your IPM hours, and so that all stems from mixing pesticides safely to using them safely to schools, what to do, what not to do, how to report. And then technical, obviously, with egg cycle and life, the insects and rodents, the biology and stuff like that. So
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's good to hear. That is just thought I should ask, but you because it's obviously you're such a big country compared to us. Like the way it goes in Britain is it's literally apart from Scotland and Wales. If you live in England, it's pretty much all the same over the whole board. It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas I can imagine state to state, like I believe that you have agents that can pull you over and check your vehicles for chemicals and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a thing
Yeah.
here. Not a thing
Oh,
here.
wow. Okay.
Unless the police think you've nicked something, then they look through your van.
Sure.
But yeah, it's not a thing. That's not. No, not yet anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. They're pretty strict here. And in California,
Oh,
I think California and New York are probably your hardest or most managed, pest control out there.
they definitely are. And UK needs to stop looking at California. It's highly annoying.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So you deal with commercial a lot. So do
Yeah.
you do a lot of audits, or do you actually do pest control for food businesses, or do you do a mixture of both?
Yeah. So most of my career, I started out as a technician, running a route through Napa Valley, um, doing high-end wineries and resorts and things like that, and also a mixture of quality control on those facilities and sales. I was in sales for a lot, so that's where I got my background, and so I do have the actual boots on the ground experience. And going into this consulting thing, I am not actually doing treatments and/or regular route work. Um, Mostly inspecting and finding the gaps, for lack
Yeah.
of better words.
Is that like? Do you do like? Because they do it here as well. Um, say there's a site that has to be audited for regulatory reasons to do with food
Mhm,
safety,
mhm.
because we have like BRC
Yep.
and all that we have. But you come in and like do a pre-audit to make sure the pest control company's doing their job before they actually get audited. Is that kind of do you do that kind of thing? Do you?
That is a server. That is a service I provide. Yes.
Yeah,
Go through and review all their documents, review all their notes, do a site evaluation on all the devices, the
yeah.
mapping, all that stuff. Make sure it's all in line. Yeah.
No, that's good. That's kind of it's what happens over here. It's kind of they see it as a. I've had a few people do that on the podcast, and they see it as a fresh set of eyes on
Yeah.
something another technician may not have seen, but you can come in fresh-eyed, not realise, because it's a new site. Whereas a lot of techs can get used to the same site and probably
Yeah.
don't notice everything.
Gets
as
very
such.
routine. It gets very
Yeah.
routine. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely does. It does. So, with what do you reckon in this year in 2026 that a lot of pest control companies, you don't have to name companies, but what do you think companies go wrong with in doing commercial pest control? Because obviously here it's so annoying. It's probably the same in America, but I struggle with like getting clients because they're just so focused on what's the cheapest price, and it's so annoying. It really is. You try and give them because like they often ask you, oh, I want this, I want that, and then you're like, and then
Yeah.
you don't get it, and you find out that they didn't really want all that; they just wanted the cheapest price. So,
Right.
is it? Do you experience that over there, or is it
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
value led?
Yeah. It's a lot like that. I think the industry, has its place in that, and I think the customer has their place in that.
Yeah,
They drive they send out the request for proposal. They
yeah,
want typically, they want good service. The customer does. But then it's a price thing a lot of times, right? And then you have the bigger corporations, the globals that come in way low on the price, right? So they can get it,
yeah,
which then drives that mindset of like, oh, I can get it cheaper, I can get, whatever. Um, so, partly the customer, because they only know what they know, right?
yeah,
You kind of like in the afterthought. Oh yeah, we need pest control. Get somebody in here to come spray our ants, right? Like it's not
exactly.
really a educated guess, right?
It's
So
reactive,
you
isn't
got
it?
that problem, and then it's reactive, not proactive for sure. And then you have the pest companies um, that are route based, right? So when you're route based, you have to get so many stops done each month.
Yeah,
You don't have time to do what I do on my side, where I can spend whatever time I need
yeah,
to solve a problem, to find the pest, identify the species, know what materials and mode of actions to use, all that stuff. Like the technician comes and checks the devices,
yeah,
and a lot of times you're lucky if you get a note that says, thank you, I checked the devices. And there's some good smaller to medium sized companies out there that really, really care and want to do good. But usually by the time I get called in, there's not a lot of data to understand what's going on. So I have to dig in and find out what's going on. So,
no, I totally get it, because I've never worked for a big firm or anything like that, but I have heard stories of people getting, 15 stops a day or 10 stops a
yeah,
day, and they haven't really got the time
right.
to do a great job. But what they did I'm not mentioning any company names, but what a lot of
Right.
the
Right.
bigger companies did, they brought in this new role called escalation manager,
Mm,
right? So what it is I don't mention names obviously, but a lot of them, as you know, they give the technicians no time, right?
right.
In comes the escalation manager with his cape
Right.
and like sorts. So they make the technicians look like they're stupid when they're not. They just haven't
Right.
got the time. They come in, send them a load of services to sort the issues out, and that's kind of became a new thing a couple of years ago, making escalation managers, and that's effectively what they was. It's a sales guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really what it is. But it's not right making them look silly when they could actually do the job themselves. But
Right.
it is what it is. But do you have that in America? Escalation manager? Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I mean, the word escalation or escalation manager gets thrown around a little bit, quality control, field manager, those
Yeah,
types of things. Those are the guys
yeah,
that come in and talk with the customer, and hopefully they don't badmouth the technician, because again, the technician's just doing his
exactly.
job, trying to do the best he can with the time he has. Um, but yeah, it's typically a salesperson, and they're typically there to smooth it over and then try to bump it up a little bit, and it's still never really effective, because what I've seen in those roles is those guys often end up getting to having to run route when
Yeah,
too many of the technicians are out. So then they're not effective in doing quality control and like checking up and all that as well, right? So kind of
yeah.
multifaceted position. It's a name, but not necessarily a solid position. To the end of it. End of the problem.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you obviously can get good, commercial clients. You can get ones that are willing to pay for that, that value where they actually get and they work with you. And when you make recommendations, they act upon the recommendations, because I believe some sites, if you don't act upon the recommendations, they get slapped by the auditors saying, what you're doing, it's on the paperwork or the digital
Yeah.
report. They are.
Yeah.
But see, we've got 36 commercial sites, but I'd love to get more. But it's how to sell it. It's A lot of the time, I'm not the most experienced, but I've been trying. But it's like I ask them, "What's your biggest concern?" And that's why I ask a lot.
Right.
It helps
Right.
get to the. I've got a few questions to ask, but it's always down to price, it seems. But I imagine with your bigger end sites, you've got higher end sites where it's not all about the price; it's about the value. Because it can't be every client that's just price driven. Surely, I'm pretty sure that there is people out there that will pay for that value.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for me, so I'm a little bit of a I don't know, kind of snooty, I guess you would say. I don't want your business if you're not willing to do the work and pay what needs to be paid, right? So I'm not going to go chase your account if you want the cheapest dollar, right? And I think everybody would agree with that and say
Yeah,
they say the same thing. But the one thing I know, like as a small business, if you're a small to medium sized business, you know, you have to be you have to have the bells and whistles, right? Meaning the
yeah,
digital portal, the scanning, whatever it be, IQ sensing, cameras, whatever the newest technology, the best way to report and track. You have to be capable to do those things as a small company.
yeah,
Otherwise, you won't even be in the room with these large commercial facilities, right? So the larger commercial facilities, it's not necessarily price all the time. It's whether or not you show up in a way that conveys the confidence that you have done this and you know how to do it, and or if you don't, you have the resources to figure it out.
yeah.
Um, I think that's part of it too, and a lot of it's being in the right rooms.
Okay,
A lot of the stuff that I did was, in business groups. Here we've got a business group called BOMA, Building
okay,
Owners and Managers Association, right? So
okay.
I'm lunching with all of these facility managers and people,
That's good.
right? So, and you're not trying to sell them anything. You're just trying to keep the salad out of your teeth and not look like a goof when you're there. You just you build friendships and then they remember you. And yeah.
No, that's right. I mean, I've recently I'm in something like that, it's a government funded one, but in my area with the council. Uh, but yeah, it's all free. It's not one of these you pay to be in the club kind of things. A
Oh,
few of
this is
them
very
are.
much pay to be in the
Oh, is it?
club.
Oh,
Everything
is it?
here you pay everything dearly for everything here. Pretty much
Oh,
nothing's free.
this one's funded, but it's got a lot of lessons, like not all related to pest control, but they are
Sure.
things that pest control firms should know. It's like there was I've still got to do it, proper sales forecasting seminar. Got all the
Oh,
notes
great.
on it, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of things where they teach you actually about business.
Yeah.
And I think that's a miss. A lot of, I'm not saying every pest control owner is like this, but a lot of pest controllers don't know the basics on business, or they're making
Yeah.
money, but they could be making more. They could be.
Yeah. There's a lot to it. I always say I know a lot of things and I don't know everything. And so,
Yeah,
I know a little bit about business and I'm doing well in my business.
yeah.
But I'm a firm believer in hiring people that are smarter than me and that can take it to the next level. So, um, or learning it, spending the time learning it myself if I don't have somebody to do it.
Well, definitely. It's like I thought I knew a lot when I walked into the first
Sure.
meeting.
Right.
What's this? And he gave me loads of things to work on. I thought, I don't know. I don't know, but I've worked on a lot of it. And
Yeah.
he got me to introduce a new service into the business. He says, we've got a grant here, a £2,000 grant. Can you think of a new service? And by the next meeting, I thought of it. A drain camera. I had. We now have that
Oh,
drain camera now. We do. But it's a signal gone there. Hang on, he's frozen. Thanks, Jason, for popping in, mate. I think he's either
Are you there?
Warren.
There you are.
There you are. You're back.
There you are. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You're back. You're back now. Welcome, Jason. Thanks for popping in. But now we've got a drain camera now, so we can look at the drains for rodent ingress points. So
how's that going?
It's going all right, but it's early days because obviously we're not known for doing it. We are trying to get some more interest, but yeah, it's. I checked we checked my dad's drains because I work with my dad. His drains were fine, so we still got to bring it over to my house to check my drains. I've not had no issues though. I'd know if I did. But,
well, it's funny because I think a lot of the customers don't think of that as a potential rodent entry point.
Oh,
right. A lot of times, a lot of times, I think more in the UK, you guys think about that more than we do here.
It's 80 to 90% of UK homes. If you've got a rat infestation in the loft,
from underneath,
there'll be a drain fault but sadly, here's the thing about it. I'm not mentioning no names again.
Right.
Big national water companies tell people there's no rats in the sewers.
Lies.
They swear blind.
Lies.
But there is drainage people too that work in the business that also swear the same thing. Yeah.
Put a monitor camera in there and watch them run around.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But no,
I love that when somebody thinks that, oh no, it couldn't be, it would never be, and then I put a camera in, I watch, and then they go, oh, I guess it could be. I'm yeah.
But it's. I think our drainage systems are very different to what yours are though in America, because I've heard that your systems are closed, aren't they? Because when you open up our manholes, they're not really closed as such. The rat could literally run into someone's straight in the sewer system, could run into someone's main underneath them, but they'd only be able to get in if there was a break in the line though, you see.
Well, they come through the toilets here and through the floor drains, right? So
we've had a lot of that recently. You know, what they seem to target is it's probably different over there, I don't know, but in the UK, for some reason, they put this stupid flexi white pipe behind the toilet and the rats choose straight through it into the house.
Of course.
But we've had no end of people ring ups about that recently. We've solved a couple, but I've had a few plumbers. I made a post, and they said we're getting no end of this. Next time we have that, we'll ring you. We will.
Yeah.
Did I say drains and Darren Pierce turned up? All right, mate. He's a proper drain guy. He is.
All right.
He is. But we've had a lot of it recently. But I suppose,
I used the rat gate from William over there from the rat gate company. I used it on a site here.
Yes.
Great product. So I solved the problem. I figured out that they were coming in through the drain. We popped the manhole in the street, and 3 rats ran out of the lateral line that was going to the building.
Yeah.
And this is after the pest company had tried and said, oh, you got to keep your doors closed. That's where they're coming in, and it's not. So we put the rat gate on that lateral line, and literally no more rats. And it's been 2 years now, at least.
It's good. It's a good product, but obviously, when you've got the camera, you can actually look if there's any faults. Because if you've got faults past the drain camera, they could come out in the faults and go straight up still. But as long as you know that the lines are fine, the rat gates work fine. It's a good product. Out of all of them, I've tested loads of them. And the best quality, I think, in the UK, in my opinion, out of all of them, is the rat gate. It's a really good product. We've tried loads of them, and in the end, it's a better product. If you ask me, it is.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the drain stuff or the sewer system, I'm going to have to take a class on, sewer systems and plumbing and all that stuff, because, I'll have a company come out and run the cameras through the lines to find any breaks and things like that. Because
I'll ask you a question.
Yeah.
Does that company understand rats in the drains, or do they just understand the drains?
They just understand the drains, and they can tell me if there's abandoned lines or if there's cracks in the lines.
Okay.
I'm usually with them watching the camera, so I can pinpoint anything pest control wise.
Good.
You know,
because there's a lot of companies in the UK that they understand drains and drainage and water and all that.
right?
I'm only going off what I'm told, but not all of them know about rats in drains, because sometimes when you're doing drains, when you're doing water, it only goes a certain way, doesn't it?
Right.
Whereas rats can run up both ways. It doesn't really matter where they go. They can run wherever they want.
They can do whatever they want to do.
But yeah, no, a lot of them are redundant lines. You're right. It can be a redundant line that causes the problem.
Yeah,
it can be. Yeah. But I'm no expert. I'm still getting
Me
into
neither.
this.
I like your videos, so I like to see you exploring that and taking it to the next level. You know, I mean, that's what the customers need, right?
Well, yeah. When I actually get some actual proper jobs, I'm going to video them, and there'll be loads of videos up. But I've got to get the work. I am trying my best. You know, I've got to get experience on me, though. You know,
sure.
But yeah, it is trying to solve the problem, and like now we're offering. I wasn't a massive proofing fan, but proofing is exclusion. We call it proofing.
Yeah.
But now we're starting to tell people we can do this, that, and the other. Because I'm not the best of salesman, but if I tell them this could solve the problem, we also can look at your drains, and we can eliminate all different areas and vents and stuff. So we are actively pushing it now. Just that I felt like I was just trying to make money out of them. But then someone says to me, you shouldn't see it like that. You should see that you're trying to fix their problem, and eliminating every other avenue isn't a sales pitch as such, because you're trying to solve the problem, not just say, here you go, spend this money and you might. But yeah, it's about solving the problem. So that's what we're doing in a minute to do that. We are.
Yeah, I think, people will see your authenticity, they'll know that you're concerned about the situation. You really want to solve it. And as long as you come through that way, I think the sale is made. The ones that are out there, sales sharks, as I would, call them, that are just trying to sell you anything and everything.
Yeah.
They're used to that. And so when you come through and you're honest and you're, your pest biology and, you know what you're talking about, and then you say, this is what it's going to take. Usually the sale's made at that point when they trust you and they know you care.
Exactly. Well, I think it's made in America. We've got a new thing now. It's an exclude rat and mouse thing. I don't know. I think they're from America. You can put it in the vent
to measure
the holes. Yeah, the hole
to measure.
Yeah. I think it's from America. It is.
Yeah, I think that's.
So
is that a Bell Labs thing, or is that an excluder? That's excluder.
Excluder. Yeah.
Yeah. They do door sweeps and all the exclusion mesh and stuff like that.
Yeah, I bought it obviously from England, because they obviously, when the shops buy it, they probably buy it in bulk, I imagine, from America. But we just bought one just to see what it was like, and I've not tested it on a client yet, but I have poked it in to have a look. But that's another talk, Darren. I'll happily go on a few jobs for you, Shaun. Cheers.
Yeah.
I forget any.
I don't use the excluder so much. I use a mirror and a flashlight, and that's usually all I need for my inspections. So I go through and I find every hole the size of my pinky or thumb. Get that mirror up underneath things and behind things, and then I take photos of it, and I get it all documented, and that's how I do it.
Nice, because I've also got I forgot the name of it now. I've got a camera that's got endoscope. Endoscope.
Yeah,
it's like but technically I could use that as well. Fit that through, and Endoscope, is it called? Endoscope?
Yeah, I think it's an
Stuff.
endoscope.
That's it.
Horoscope,
No,
endoscope.
we call it endoscope. That's it, endoscope.
Yeah.
Could use that
I've
too.
had a hard time with mine. I
Yeah.
bought a cheaper one. It was like $150 or something like that.
Yeah.
And the end doesn't move. So it's just this long cable that I fish in there. And, I'm trying to get it to show on the camera, and, it's hit or miss. I use it. I've got a ferret that is a small camera like this.
Yeah, we've got one of them too.
It works.
Yeah.
It works fair for some things. I've got a bunch of different tools that I use, thermal cams and cameras and all those things, but not all of them, work every time.
All the thermals.
I'm always trying to pull something out of my hat, and it's like, well, I could have probably just told you that was an entry point right there.
Oh, definitely. It's like the thermals, they came in handy last year because you've heard that the FICAM D's been removed, haven't you, for wasp nests?
Yeah.
I used that a couple of times because you've got to make sure I did the treatment from inside instead of outside because there was no point doing it outside.
Right.
So there is a video of that one where I show you it go cold, like all the heat source, and then I'll show you it after, and it's all blue. But I had to use that there because even in the video I even show you where they're going in, and there's no way dust would have touched it.
Right.
But it did take longer for the actual wasp to disappear as such because it kept going up thinking it was there, but it worked and it did work.
Yeah.
And there's Andrew Sanevsky for the save. It's the fit tool from Excluder.
All right, Andrew.
That's it. There he is.
There he is.
Coast to coast.
The man, the myth, the legend.
He is. He's in the building.
Yes.
He is. You never know. I might get on that podcast one day, Andrew. You never know. Saying that though, there's more chance of Gabe coming on this podcast. Do you know who Gabe is? Gabe Seymour.
Yeah.
He's one of the hosts. It's always a joke because me and the Beauties and Beasties podcast from the UK, we've both been trying to get Gabe to come on. He's that busy. We're like, we want Gabe on, But it's a running joke whenever Andrew's on a UK podcast. Where's Gabe? I was like, I tried to get him on, But so with obviously commercial sites is in America. So is digital becoming a big thing when it comes to monitoring devices? Because I did a trial with Syngenta. I trialed did Secure Choice Digital 24/7. It was a trial funded by Syngenta through the MPTA, and my review of it was basically that if I had the right client willing to pay for it, I'd be able to. But problem is, it's like when the monitoring blocks were going missing, I wasn't sure. So 50 odd activations could have been half of the blocks. But because it was a trial, I obviously was going back and it wasn't costing. But it's working out. And I just said they could do with some kind of camera or measuring thing to see how much has actually gone. Because it was hard to gauge. I'm not used to all this digital stuff, like in boxes. And I just said that it's a good product, but they could do with some upgrades, potentially camera, or I think I may have said a way to gauge how much bait or monitoring block has actually gone. But have you tried that one, or have you heard of that one?
I've heard of quite a few of these ones. So what I use for me is the Bell Labs because Bell has been in the industry for so long, and the IQ sensing has been a thing for quite a while. So they've worked out a lot of the kinks, and the devices are sturdy and easy. It's all very easy for me. The other ones that I've looked at, there's a lot of good technology coming out, and so I'm not saying that any of them are not good. What I'm saying is it's a little harder to adapt those into your day-to-day because they haven't necessarily figured out all the kinks yet. I like the real-time alert idea. Trap goes off and it texts the technician. I like the weight idea, weighing the bait and understanding how much they've eaten.
There was one on, I had, what's his name? Adam Holt on the podcast, and he said
Yeah.
he worked for Pest Sense, and he said
Yeah.
that device there actually weighs the bait and how much is
Yeah.
gone. You mentioned that, he did.
Yeah, I like that concept. I think the Pest Sense is a good product. The hardware wasn't necessarily for me necessarily, but
Okay,
the
that's fine.
idea is good. I get more off of the events, the
Yeah.
timestamps, than I do whether the bait has been eaten or not. So I typically use a combination effect on when I'm doing rodent control, is a mixture of video surveillance and a mixture of digital tracking devices, to where I can see, because just because you have a station there that tracks digitally doesn't mean the rodent's going to go in it. Right. So,
Run right
so
over the top.
I watch them run right by the station, and they're saying, "Well, we don't have any events. There's nothing in the station, nothing in the trap. Bait's not getting eaten." And so the cameras prove that, a different, show a different story. So it's a combination. But if you've got a good digital system where you can see the events and the timestamps, and you can trend that information to where 2 a.m. in the morning at that loading dock, there's always activity, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, the door's always open,
Exactly.
or at that time, that's when they get their deliveries, or they have big events on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but the rest of the week it's quiet. Well, then you see your trends, like Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're eating, they're eating a lot, so I kind of use it for that. And I do think that's the way pest control is going. I think we have to be mindful of the data, the species that we're dealing with, and understanding that stuff. And back to what you were saying about getting the customers to pay for that, I made a decision when I came into this thing that that's the service that I provide.
Okay.
I'm not catering to whether the customer will pay for it or not. And the reason for that is I want to have the information at my fingertips to where I can make the best educated decision on their pest management treatments. And so I'm going to use it regardless of whether they're paying for it. And sometimes that comes a little out of my pocket, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, I've got more information to use than the average pest company.
Yeah, no, I mean, they say it is moving towards data as well. It is. Do you think it's at a point where it is? Because obviously there's tons of products on the market.
Yeah.
Do you think it will get to a point where every product will work great? Because they're all different. It's a minefield. I'll be honest, without the experience, it is a minefield as to what to even use. Because obviously everyone will all say my product's great, but it's a hard one, isn't it? Until you try it and trial it and things like that. It's difficult, but I can see why you're going for Bell, because that product has been out a while, so it's been tried and tested. But there's always new things coming out, isn't there? There is.
Yeah. I mean, I think with the Bell system, I wish there was I wish there was some real-time alert stuff. There's a lot of companies that are doing the real-time alerts, and I think they're working towards that. I think that's going to be valuable for the everyday technician, service-wise. But everybody's going to say their product's the best, and it doesn't. It does all these things, and really, what I do in my business is I look at the end user data. So what does the customer see on their stuff? And a lot of these newer devices out there, they don't have the portal set up to where it's actually useful for the customer that's reviewing the stuff. So Bell, has a decent user interface where they can see the timestamps and the activities and the captures, and all that. So it could be better, but I think it's for me it works, and I think everybody's going to have their own. How do they implement it into their organization? Right, that's
Yeah,
a whole nother ball game, right? When you've got, you know, 10 techs versus 200 techs, and you're going to go
exactly.
digital, and then so you better make the right decision at the gate, because trying to roll that out, and you don't want to have to go through all the trials and errors, and then find out that it's not going to work the way you need it to.
No, exactly. It's so with that being said, I imagine that you within your what you do, you also use AI. Do you use AI?
No, I don't. I actually, for the cameras, when it's needed, I will actually watch the videos and distinguish whether it's a male or female, juvenile, adult, whatever, and I'll
It's not ready. It's not. I didn't mean AI cameras. I meant like when you're doing your reporting, do you use
oh,
AI to help you write it better? Things like that. Do you do
a
that?
little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm my spelling's not great, and
We all do it. We
sometimes,
all. To be honest,
yeah,
a lot
it
of
gives
people.
me a little bit of help here and there, for sure, for the reports, but a lot of times it's not, really what I want to say, so I'll have to delete a bunch and add more of my.
Nice. Talk to
Yeah,
your phone or tablet. Tell it what you roughly want to say, then ask them to rewrite it professionally. And usually, it comes out fine.
yeah,
Usually,
yeah,
you've got to
usually.
obviously check. Most of the time for me, it comes out fine. But I've only recently started to use it, and it's a. I hate the word. I hate it. But it's a game changer. I don't like it when it comes. I don't like it when it comes to pest control products. When people say that, I hate it. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's a red. That's a red flag. That is. But it works. My treatment reports, etc., look so much more professional, and proposals. They
sure.
look great now because of that. They do.
Yeah, as long as it's not a generic note that is put on every
Oh
service
no,
tag, right? I see
no,
that a lot when I'm reviewing
I
audits, or
changed
when
them. I
when
changed
I'm
them.
reviewing notes from techs. um, a lot of the notes are the same note, and I'm like, well, it's a different building, and you're making the same same note.
Oh no, I change it from
Yeah,
place to place, etc.
yeah,
I do that. Yeah,
yeah.
I
AI
do.
helps. It can help for sure.
AI is not good on IDing insects, though. I know that.
No.
You put it into Google, anything brown, it will say you got
Oh
bed
my god.
bugs. It
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
It's not good at doing IDing. It's not.
No, no, not
Often
yet.
gets the honeybees right. It does on that, but a lot of bugs, you just need to look. You do. You'd be
Yeah,
surprised how many people like everyone says, oh, they love bees, and they do. But I've
yeah,
had it where the customer said, I've got wasp nest.
yeah,
All right then. Where are they? They're there. I said, they're honeybees. No, they're not. They're wasps. I said, they're honeybees. And they were arguing me. I said, they are 100% honeybees. Well,
yeah,
generally, it doesn't happen much now because generally we just ask them, could you please take a clear photograph on WhatsApp? And we can tell
yeah.
them. Because if I turn up, I'm not doing it, obviously. And
Right.
I'll charge them for coming. I will.
Yeah.
But
Do you have you have beekeepers that come and remove them safely?
yeah, I got people that obviously they're not really beekeepers that do them. They are and they ain't, because sometimes people think they're going to get a beekeeper because the beekeeper's going to come and take away for free. Now, my
Right.
mate Martin does that. Martin
Yeah.
Belcher, he's a good guy, but he also does proper bee removal. Because sometimes you've got to get a scaffold up, you've got to
Yeah.
take the
Yeah.
chimney down. People
Yeah.
don't realise this can cost
It's a big
thousands of
job.
pounds.
It's a big
Thousands of
job.
pounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do recommend people and stuff like that to do the work. Yes,
Yeah.
we
Because
do.
you don't want to just go kill the bees. We want to keep
We
them
don't
alive. And
don't
yeah,
do that. I don't.
that's important.
Yeah, we don't do that because
Yeah. Good.
someone asked me why, and I explained it to them once. I says, okay, all right, just think about this. I says, say you kill the bees. I says, yeah, it's not just them bees you've killed. What do you mean? He says, well, what happens if, like, say there's like 6, 7, 10 beehives in this area or more? And I says they can smell honey. So they come nicking. That's what they do, don't they? They nick honey.
Yeah.
Well, they go in there and then they come out covered in powder. They could go back and infect all them hives, and then you could wipe out. Oh, wait, now you put it that way. I get it. I was like, yeah, that's kind of why. It's just because it's not good to do it anyway, but you can actually infect low thousands more. You can.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to explain it a different way, you have. Because sometimes.
Yeah. It's important to not let the customer dictate what, because they freak out, right? They just want them gone. And they may even try to spray them themselves. And, it's like, no,
so often,
you want to keep them alive. Keep them alive.
There's certain periods where they start swarming.
Yeah.
And generally we just say, I know it's scary, they're in your garden.
Yeah.
Give it a couple of hours or give it to the morning. And some of them ring back saying thank you. They're gone.
That was my favorite. One of my favorite things as a technician when I first started. The owner of the company, he did swarm removal. So we get calls, and I'd go put the box there. I'm just a newbie tech, I go put the box there, poke the holes, in there, and get the queen and whatever, get them in there, and then they would. They fill up. I come back the next day. I would take that box to the beekeeper lady, and she had a whole plexiglass hive in her barn, where she taught me about how they do their directional, the butt wiggle thing to tell the other ones, how far, what direction, the hunt, the food is or whatever, and so anyway, I'd bring her the hive, the bees. And she'd give me a jar of honey. Nice. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I was like, man, I'm saving the bees and I'm getting a jar of honey, and I get to see this beautiful hive. She had a tube coming out the barn, and like this whole, it must have been 4 feet by 3 feet, at least a big plexiglass wall full of bees. It was really neat.
Oh, nice. I mean, to be fair, that's what Martin does. My mate Martin.
Oh, okay.
He's at Mansfield way, and he actually will go. Say bees are actually outside someone's house, just sitting there. He will go and do that.
Yeah,
he's a very brave man. I've seen a picture of him.
Yeah.
Before, without a suit on, and they haven't touched him.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
But he has got the suit, obviously. But
I can't do it. I see these people with the bee beard or they're crawling. I always suit up because I just.
Have you ever seen that guy on Facebook and YouTube? He's a bee guy, but he's like, he calls them murder bees. Have you ever seen him?
No, he does murder bees.
No, because the Africanized. Have you ever heard of the Africanized bees that kill us? He goes after them, and he actually kills them. He does.
I almost got a job doing that in Southern California. I thought it would be cool.
The Africanized bees.
I want to do that.
I hope they never come here because they sound like they kill people. It's weird because what they say is someone genetically altered them to make them more productive with honey. Right? I don't know if it's right, but it did work. However, it made them massively aggressive, and they just attack. So I don't know if it's true, but that's what I was told about them.
Interesting. I don't know.
Why would you mess with nature? I don't know if that's true.
Right.
Seems a bit. Yeah. I don't get it, but I don't.
You've seen those Japanese hornets, right? They'll fly at you, and then they tuck their back end forward, and they'll squirt the venom at you. They're like 2 inches. They're huge. Terrifying.
We've actually got some hornets like that.
Oh, really?
Asian hornets are in the UK.
Oh God, terrifying.
So they're not. We're not allowed to touch them. Basically, currently the UK bee unit or one of the agencies, they deal with it, the beekeepers or whatever. We could do it easily.
They're not a beneficial. Why would you not be able to touch them?
No, they're the only ones that are allowed to kill them, not us.
Interesting.
But it's not they're not en masse yet, but the numbers are suggesting that they are established. But certain people, from what I understand, certain groups don't want to admit that they've lost the fight.
Right.
Yes. Well, Jersey lost the fight, France lost the fight, and now they're here.
Well, that's pest. That's
when you all use the same method, I wonder why it's not working.
Sure, there's that, and also we're never going to win against nature.
No.
Like all of the rodents, the yellow jackets, the wasps. Like we can have some success, but
it will be a future service in the UK. It will be Asian hornets will be a future service.
Wow.
It will be. Not yet, but in years to come, I imagine it will be.
Yeah.
It just shows that they don't just have to be in warm climates. I wouldn't call England warm.
Well, I'm excited to see your videos once you start going after them.
Well, I've never done. I do wasp videos, but I don't do them of me actually doing them. I do like the before video and the after picture when they're pissed off. Usually,
yeah, yeah.
I do, but it's crazy, this pest control world, isn't it?
It is. It's been a good run so far.
It definitely is. Is there any tips you could give people on how to be better doing commercial pest control? You know, in the sense of any tips you could give people in how to do it.
Yeah. The number one thing I would say is know the species you're dealing with when you find it. Know the mode of action of the material you're using.
Yeah.
Or whether or not you need to use the material. It might just be a sanitation thing.
Yeah.
Don't be a technician, right? Don't just come and check the boxes.
Go on, say it, Warren. Don't be a box kicker.
Don't be a box kicker. No spray and pray, right? Document.
Yeah.
Why, where, when, what did you do when you found it? What are the next step? Lead the service. Don't just do the service, lead the service. So, I know you're in a route and you got to get to your next job, but what does this building need now that you found what you found? Right? There's more steps. And so now it's more communication and more involvement. And so you can't just say, hey, I found a mouse in the station, I changed the glue board or changed it. Well, guys don't do glue boards, but
no, not anymore.
But you can't just say, hey, I found a mouse and I removed it. Thank you very much for the service, right? Like, what did you do? Did you inspect? Did you find openings? What's your next step? Right? And understanding, a lot of this digital stuff with the trends are great, but if the technician doesn't review the trends, and so you don't know that every March or April we're getting an influx of Oriental roaches or American roach, understanding. And I think Sprigg talks a lot about this is predictive pest management. So it's not just doing the service; it's understanding what's coming and preventing that from happening through obviously sanitation and all that. So in that regard, get everybody involved on at the business, on your account as well, so some of those things, that's what I'd recommend.
That's some good tips there is. Someone said this, I don't know who it is, but it's there's a LinkedIn person. It's not coming. Technician. I don't know how you say that.
Technician. They're loud. Instead of a technician, it's a technician.
It's probably someone I know, but for some reason, sometimes on StreamYard, it starts not giving the names out.
Yeah, I think you like you said, you guys call them box kickers.
Yeah,
The word technician floats around here quite a bit. I didn't invent it, but yeah, it's
yeah.
just the person that just does the routine, and it's really not thinking forward on where that account's going, right?
But exactly, it's like you've got different names. It's like in here, I hate the name though, but a lot of pest controllers call other pest controllers pesties. I
Oh,
hate
okay,
it. But in
pesties.
America, it's cheese bags, isn't it? Is that right?
Oh, no, I
Cheese,
don't. I've never heard that.
haven't you?
No.
I'm in an American group called Cheese Bag PCHD Group. It's like a meme. It's like a meme. Oh, it's Dan Trainer. Cheers, mate. Dan Trainer.
Oh yeah,
He's been on the podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I talked to him yesterday. He's yeah, Dan. I got his book. I'm going to read his book.
I need to get the book. I'm in it.
Oh yeah, I saw you on the first page. You were you did the
haven't-
recommendation. You're famous.
I know. I haven't. Hang on. I'm in the book in America. Yes. Definitely. I'm in. There we
Woohoo!
go.
There it
I'm
is.
famous. That's it. I'm in
Well,
a book
that's
in
you know
America.
when I read what you said about his book, I was like, well, now I know I got the right book.
Oh, yeah, you go.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I need to get that book actually. I do. I was meaning to get it, but you know.
Well, I think you got a free signed copy coming from Dan now.
Well, who knows?
Since you made it to America.
Well, you know, my head be even bigger now walking around pest events. My book's in America signed.
That's right. That's right. Make a hoodie.
Yeah, but no, it's nice you've been speaking to him. He's a good guy. I've not met him in person yet, but maybe one day I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. What else? Is there anything else you wanted to mention at all, Warren?
No, I think we covered a wide vast of things. I mean, you and I and just about every pest controller could talk for hours on all the different things in pest control because it's such a wonderful industry.
It's very
wide it's
as well.
wide. It's everybody's got a story. Nobody knows everything. Everybody's learning right along with it, right? And the pests are laughing all the way, trying to beat us every day. So it's a great industry to be in, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. So if you want your points, people, when you're in the British Pest Register, put that code in, and you'll get a point for watching this podcast. You will.
Yeah.
So there you go. You've contributed to someone's learning.
I love it. Hopefully they learn something.
So, where can people find you if they want to hit you up on
LinkedIn? LinkedIn's always good. The website ryanpestconsulting.com. You can schedule time on my calendar if you want to chat. I'm usually at Pest World every year. Yeah.
Oh, I've heard so much about Pest World.
It's quite a show. It's really, really good.
We have big events here, and I mean, what I'm going to this month is big, but it's nothing compared to that Pest World. It's massive.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, I really enjoy it. So.
Good to hear. Good to hear that is. Cheers for that, Dan. He's going to put one in the post for me.
Yeah,
you'll get loads of promotion out of that because you know what I'm like.
Yeah,
I'll be like making a video. Look, I'm in the book. You must buy.
I'm in the book. Buy the book.
You must buy it. You must. But yeah. So thanks. I'll tell you what. Who else would you like to see on this podcast? Have you got anyone you could recommend? Or any kind of person, like any kind of field you'd like to see personal?
Not offhand. I would have to think about it.
Yeah, no, let us know if you think of any.
Yeah. I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you a message.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, Shaun.
Yeah, no, it's good. So you should be booked for the next 2 months now. So with
All right.
coming on this podcast, you'll be booked up for the next
Yeah,
year. Once,
maybe. Like I said, it's something that I don't do a lot.
yeah.
I'm camera shy, as you speak, or
Well, I think you've done a really good job. I mean,
well, thank you,
you've
thank
been on
you.
the camera much longer than your previous podcast, and
Yeah,
I
and
think
that was my first podcast ever. This is my second podcast, and
so.
I probably won't watch it because I hate to hear myself talk. So
So this is the thing. This is the thing because
it
I
is.
actually I can. You got to appreciate that I've been podcasting a long time.
So you can hear yourself talk and watch yourself, and you're good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll grow to be okay with it.
It's something Andrew Sinevsky told me to do. Try and watch it or at least listen to it.
Yeah.
I don't listen to every episode. Don't get me wrong. I don't. It's still a bit weird to hear yourself.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, if I've messed a mic up and stuff, people sometimes tell me after.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you tell me? I could have adjusted it. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah. So.
Well, man, thank you so much.
So thanks for coming on. I know you don't do this often, so I do appreciate it. Giving up your time.
Yeah. No, thank you.
So thanks everyone, and I'll see you all next week.
Very good. Thanks.
Thanks.